Tom Burridge reporting. With me now is Professor Christian Dustmann, who is Director of University College London's Centre for Research and Analysis of Migration. Thank you very much for coming in. Are we looking at the moment at a crisis that is far outweighing in its scale any of the potential solutions we're hearing about?
Well, it's definitely a crisis which to that extent Europe has never seen before. Something which was large in terms of numbers, where the Balkan was. But the number of refugees coming to Germany or to Europe more generally was far smaller than what we are seeing at the moment. So it's definitely a huge challenge which hits many countries very unexpectedly.
That was going to be my next point, the fact that geographically there are so many different areas where, where we're seeing these sort of key points, the Hungarian border, Greece, Italy, the Mediterranean, so many different areas with different issues.
Well, yes. So clearly we have regulations in Europe. The Dublin Accord foresaw that those countries where immigrants are first arriving have usually to deal with the asylum applications. But clearly the countries in the Mediterranean, such as Greece and Italy, besides having their own problems, in the case of Greece, for instance, are totally overwhelmed with the numbers that are arriving. And individuals move up to Northern Europe and then ask for asylum, at the moment predominantly in Germany, but also in countries like Sweden, for instance, who kind of carry the main burden of what is going on at the moment. And of course there is a lot of unhappiness about that. Germany in particular would like to have that burden being more equally distributed across all the other European countries.
There are a lot of people, as you say, calling for some sort of pan-European solution, but do you see a sign of one at the moment?
Well, I think we will see negotiations going in this direction. We had a meeting yesterday in Vienna. There will be other meetings, and we certainly need a European solution to that. It is just impossible for Germany to take all these people in without any support by other countries. At the same time, it is very difficult for the southern European countries to deal with those numbers who are arriving at the moment. So clearly we need more European coordination on this particular issue.
And as you know, the moment you go down that road, the internal political difficulties in each country arises, because there is a suspicion, there is a wariness. The point of view is often aired, countries are full already, we haven't got any more room. That's certainly a voice you hear in the UK from time to time. How do you counter that in the face of this kind of scale of problem?
Yes, of course. I mean, the UK in particular is not really on board very much at the moment. But clearly, if a country is a signatory to the 1951 Refugee Convention, then there are certain duties, there are certain issues which kind of arise from taking refugees in who have a very strong case. And I think all countries should be reminded of that. So it's not that, well, there is something deliberate going on. These are not economic migrants. These are to a very large extent, individuals who indeed come from areas where security is a huge problem and a huge issue.
So you would make that point, but also presumably make the point about tackling the traffickers more effectively.
Well, the traffickers are a result of what is going on. So whenever people want to cross a border, there will be traffickers. We have trafficking in the US, from Mexico to the US. We have trafficking at any border where entry is difficult. So I think the trafficking is simply a result of the humanitarian crisis we are seeing in these countries and the attempt by these people to evade fates which are very, very unfortunate.
Thank you very much indeed for coming in, Professor Christian Dustmann there.